This is a surprise show. It's Monday night and I'm live because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. So, because it's very spontaneous and I just jumped on. Boy, you guys are quick. Not even 20 seconds and you're here. You're all alone. That's why I'm here. That is why I'm here. I literally, the guides were like, people need you to show up in person. So here I am. I listen. I do my best. So tell your friends. Tell your friends I decided to go live because I feel like people are feeling lonely. Seriously, I really do. I feel it. It's in the air. And we do need to bond together. We do need to let each other know that we're all together in this, and really acknowledge the gift of, that we have this technology where we don't have to go through this chaos just thinking we're the only ones and, what do we do? Which is why I started the Grassroots of Democracy group. That's one of the reasons. So, here to answer your questions and here to talk about what's going on and how we're all feeling. Thank you. Yeah, and my fringe benefits here are that I get compliments and I feel uplifted too. So it's a win-win for everybody. The lunar calendar behind me that my niece designed, you can kind of see it. It's kind of small. Is for sale on my website, $20, free shipping, and she sold a few, so we're excited about that. I'll be having more merch on my website too, psychicannetteDion.com. And what else is going on? I have a special offer going on for the rest of the month of January. I wrote a book and it's coming on its 10-year anniversary. Do I have it over there? I'm going to go grab it in a sec. So it's coming up on the 10-year anniversary of when I wrote my self-published book. And if you book an appointment for a reading or life coaching with me the rest of the month of January, I will send you a free autographed copy of my book. So talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to grab it. It's just across the room. I'll be quick. Say hello. Say hello. All right, so this is my book, and I looked inside and I went, oh my goodness, it was 2013, and it's the 7-day key to living inspiration and empowerment, getting what you want. So if you book a reading or a life coaching from now till January 31st, I will send you a free autographed book. Yeah, I thought I'd come on. People are showing up now. I feel like people are feeling really alone and a little lost because our country appears to be losing its way. And we have to look at, we all have lifetimes where we face challenges, both personally and collectively, and this is a collective challenge. So when we're facing a collective challenge, like we're all in the same boat. I think that analogy was what John Lewis said. Something to that effect. I think Hakeem Jeffries might have quoted him. And we're all in this boat. We're all in this boat. We all decided to incarnate during these times and all be together in the same boat. So that being said, we really can't look at this like, just what's going on in our government and around the world. We can't look at it like, oh no, whoa, this is terrible, oh, we really can't. We can, but we can't expect things to get better if we do that. So it's very disheartening to see the Bolsanaro supporters. We know Bolsanaro is a big thug, and Bolsanaro is responsible for so much of the rainforest being completely devastated in Brazil. So Bolsonaro is, he's kind of partly responsible for our global catastrophes that we're facing right now. And I mentioned, I think it was Friday night. Yeah, it was Friday night because that's when it was happening. That the coup in Brazil is identical to January 6, 2021, to that coup. And if you've seen video of it, it's devastating. And it's also disturbing that Brazil got right on it and arrested 1,000 of these violent protesters. And when it happened in America, that's not what happened. I think we were just, what's the word? Befuddled? Overwhelmed? I don't know. We have a lot of loose ends to tie up. Yeah, I know. And these immature, I'll read the chat. I'm with my small iPad tonight, so I just have a little bit of a hard time seeing. McCarthy acts like the gavel is a new toy. He reminds me of a child when they first received the toy they've been wanting so bad. Well, he is a child. These people in the Republican Party are unintelligent. They have what I call arrested development, which is what narcissism is too. It's like their development, I'm being serious, I'm not kidding. Their maturity and their development psychologically was stunted. They're intellectually stunted in their growth, in their, like their brains don't fire like a normal person's. Let's put it that way. So, I reflect on this all the time. I don't have a degree in, social sciences or anything to that effect. I just am very, very fascinated by the human condition and how humans work. As probably you all are too, right? So we're fascinating specimens. So it's hard, but it's really, it's ironic that the Republicans point to people that are, smart and want to see this country succeed and want to do the right thing. It's ironic that they call us woke, because this is waking us up. It's truly waking us up to the reality that we have to be involved in that, and that we, mostly that we do matter. Our involvement does matter. Our voices do matter. So there's a few sides to it. Every dictator in history was nothing but the accentuation of already existing state ideas, which he had only to exaggerate in order to gain power. Wilhelm Reich. Yeah, Chuck, very, very aptly said. So, and we know that, just on that note, that when Trump was running, he literally banked on people being aggravated, people being racist, people being hateful, people having pent up anger that they wanted to release. And so Trump was doing them a service by it's like giving them permission, because these things are contagious, right? Giving them permission, becoming president, illegitimately, becoming president, so that these people had a spokesperson for their anger and their vitriol. We all have our dark sides, but civilized people understand that we don't want to, when we're feeling dark, when we're feeling awful and angry, we manage it, right? But there are a lot of people too that don't manage it, and that needed somebody to be a figurehead and a spokesperson to be voicing anger and voicing racist, things. And I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. So let's take a look. And before I jump into the cards, I'm gonna bear with me. I want to speak to the significance of how many psychics on YouTube did not see Kevin McCarthy becoming Speaker of the House. I have a problem with people that have a problem with that. I love you all, and I know that doesn't mean anybody here. I'm just saying, we're picking up on something. Obviously, collectively, the psychics on YouTube collectively have decades and decades worth of experience doing readings. For me, this year it's 30 years. So when we see something, we're not going to just, sniff at it and just go, well, that was nothing. No, because we know what a psychic impression feels like. The pendulum swung no to Kevin McCarthy becoming Speaker of the House. The pendulum was reading the energy of the situation. Kevin McCarthy is no Speaker of the House. So let's be a little open-minded in terms of, I'm just saying this. I'm not speaking to anybody in particular, but I had a comment or two that was like, all the psychics, they got it wrong. No, we didn't get it wrong. There's no energy of Speaker of the House in Kevin McCarthy. Many of these people got in by cheating, and he is a hostage. He is a hostage. I think, Damon, why alarming? He's a Speaker of the House. Damon, it should not be alarming. I think it's more, I hate to say the word should. I think it's really important to understand that we're reading the energy of the situation. So our human minds are like, is he going to be the Speaker? Yeah, I can understand that. We didn't get it right that he didn't become Speaker of the House. It took how many tries? So that energy was there. And also, I'll shut up in a second, I promise about this. Also, we see it very short-lived. We see it very short-lived, and I see that other people feel the same way. I like the Squeaker of the House, Jackie Moon. That's cute. He's a Squeaker of the House. So these people, this is like unevolved, people that are unevolved. And I'm not saying that as a judgment, as a hatred. I'm making the observation that they're unevolved in the sense of being civil human beings. And Matt Gaetz, I don't care what anybody says, Matt Gaetz is shaking in his boots because he knows he's in trouble. And what they're wanting to do, like I said on Friday night, it's like Matt Gaetz, before Kevin McCarthy was like on cloud 9 thinking he had legitimately earned the position, what he did was he sold out our country. That's what Kevin McCarthy did. And Matt Gaetz was doing all this dance and look how important I am. Look, I'm going to have all these memes. And he's such a despicable human being. And it's pretty unanimous, especially in this group here. Matt Gaetz is a despicable human being, as is Kevin McCarthy. An out-and-out traitor. Out-and-out traitors. So Matt Gaetz, what I saw was he was grandstanding because he's freaked out at how much trouble he's in. The reason that they're trying to go after the FBI and go after the Justice Department and go after the judges, the reason that they're doing that, they're not strong people at all, somebody's saying. The reason that they're doing that Jim Jordan wants to go investigate the investigators, they're doing that because they don't want to go to prison. Can I get a witness? Please hit the thumbs up, and thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Much appreciate. Sorry I gave you no warning that I was coming on. In name only. He's not really Speaker of the House. He's not the conventional, that's the point I'm making. He doesn't have the energy of Speaker. He's a tool. Now, I keep saying I'm going to shut up in a minute. I guess I have a lot to say. Metaphysically, from a spiritual perspective, from a spiritual standpoint, what we have right now to work with energetically is this. Hear me out. The law of contrast couldn't be more in our faces in terms of what we need to work with. The law of contrast says, in order to create what we truly want, Sometimes we have to experience the extreme opposite of it. What does it do? It builds up momentum, it builds up emotional energy for us to pour all our energy into what we do want, because what we don't want, we want to run away from. We don't want to ignore it, but we want to get very, very, very clear. This ain't working. This is not it. This is not what we want. We're going to fight now for what we want. You know, metaphorically speaking, we're going to passionately speak up, protest. Maybe not. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't protest. It's too dangerous. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Like when my guides gave me, coined the phrase for me, we need to find our inner Ukrainian. There's a lot of meaning to that. We have a worldwide threat of autocracy. It's around the entire globe, and it's a minority of people in the world, and it's the majority of us do not want that. And there's so many more enlightened people on the planet right now, more than there ever was before. And I promise I will dig out that quote that my guides gave me several months ago. It was in the fall, about what we're going through right now and how it's different from what we've gone through in the past, like in World War II and, you know, early in the 1900s. Jeez, I'm all fired up. I think the moon's in Leo. The moon's in Leo. Yeah. Hang on a second. It's just about going void, of course. All right, so yeah, Kim, she's saying readers are not expected to be 100% accurate all the time. Things change, and just to add to that, I don't feel like that it was inaccurate. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Good tweet, Scotty. I like it. The law of contrast. I'm telling you, the law of contrast. In a way, we can use this energy. Now, Hakeem Jeffries. I'm going to ask the pendulum. Let's start with this, because this is how I did. Now remember, some other psychics too, I believe, said that they saw Hakeem Jeffries being Speaker of the House. When I watched Hakeem Jeffries speak, which pendulum wants to come out? This one matches my sweater. This is like fashionable pendulum use. I felt like Hakeem Jeffries would be president someday. You gotta read Chuck Hepner's quotes. We are all equally responsible for its success. We are. Optimism is a duty. Oh man, some of these I just need to do a screenshot. Optimism is a duty. The future is open. It's not predetermined. No one can predict it except by chance. We all contribute to determine it by what we do. We are all equally responsible for its success. I'm so sorry for your loss, Connie. I'm sorry to tell you that I don't do personal readings. This is a psychic news network. But you can book a reading at psychicannetdion.com. Will Hakeem Jeffries be president? Will Hakeem Jeffries be president someday? I don't understand why you're saying ugh. Hang on a second. I'm sorry to do that. It's just distracting. Please understand that this is, I'm offering this for free, and I don't do personal readings on my videos, and I'm welcoming you here, but, don't say ugh, because I just said that's what's going on. Will Hakeem Jeffries be president in the future? See, now the pendulum says there's too many things in play. I did say sorry to Connie. We give a lot. That's definitely the pendulum saying it's way too way too soon to tell if Hakeem Jeffries will be president someday, and that's really doing a huge clearing. So let's do that. When the pendulum does that, it's a clearing. So, in the meantime, the rules, what do they call it? The rules committee, or the rules that the Republicans were establishing right now are out of bounds. Out of bounds. Thank you guys for helping. I appreciate it. Okay. What do they call it? The House rules? The Gaetz just said these guys are not gonna remain in the majority. Okay, so I'm gonna ask this different. Does Hakeem Jeffries, okay, let's do it this way. There are different ways of working with it. What percent chance is there that Hakeem Jeffries will be Speaker of the House this year? Is it 10% chance, 20%? I'm asking about, will Hakeem Jeffries be Speaker of the House this year? What is the percentage chance? Maybe you guys will like this way of asking better. My teacher taught me like this. 30% chance he'll be Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries. 40% chance. Is there a 50% chance Hakeem Jeffries will be Speaker of the House? It's going like 50, 60%. There's a 50 or 60 to 60% chance that Hakeem Jeffries will be Speaker of the House. And I'm talking about, are we talking about 2023? Okay, so that makes sense, doesn't it? Is George Santos going to lose his seat? Yes. One down. Is Matt Gaetz going to lose his seat? Is Matt Gaetz going to lose his seat? Oh, now it's trying to clear all the icky energy. Okay, so I'm going to change the way I ask these particular questions. Is Matt Gaetz, what percentage chance is there currently that Matt Gaetz will lose his seat? His House seat? 10%? 20%? What are the chances Matt Gaetz will lose his House seat? 30%? 40%? Matt Gaetz, 50% losing his House seat. 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%. We're going to, Matt Gaetz is about a 90% chance that Matt Gaetz will lose his seat. Everybody settle down. And please attend our 20 on Tuesdays meeting on my website. You can go to my website. See, when people complain, I get all aggravated because I give out so much for free. You know what I mean? It's just, don't complain. It's like going to a restaurant and getting a free meal and complaining about it. Come on. I decided just to change things up a little bit, and I've got some different cards. This is a deck that I've used many times, as you can tell. This is John Holland's, I get him mixed up with the other one. John Holland's Psychic Tarot. So we're gonna do 3 cards about what's going on right now. Thank you. I love you guys too. I wouldn't do this if I didn't love you all. And maybe someday we'll meet. Today I made a magic wand out of a stick from the Maine woods and a crystal. Thought that was kind of cool. Thank you. We all should just do us, right? Just do you. I'm going to pick 3 cards to just read the energy of what's going on in the House of Representatives right now. In the House of... I don't think we should call it that. This morning on Morning Joe, I don't know, it just struck me really funny. Morning Joe, Joe Scarborough referred to the Republicans as the swamp creatures. And then I must have heard that 5 more times in the course of the day. A lot of the news anchors are really aggravated. We're all aggravated. Where I live in the Northeast, that's just kind of normal. We're all aggravated. 3 cards about how it feels. Yes, we're praying. How it feels for the House right now. Remember that the Democrats are completely unified, like beyond what we've ever seen. So keep your eye on the prize. All right? Promise? This is what's going on in the House right now. The Devil card. New beginnings, obviously. New beginnings. Suffering in silence. Okay, so the Democrats, a lot of people are suffering in silence right now. So I'm reading about the energy in the House right now, in the House of Representatives tonight. So as you can see, this is the Devil card. There's a lot of evil. Look at the tendrils. That's so funny. Maybe because I've read these cards for so many years. I haven't read them in several months, but kind of put them away for a while. See the dark tendrils? That is how I see the dark energy. I wonder if it's just from reading these cards so many years. So it's like dark tendrils. And you can almost feel it. And somebody sent me a video of a psychic. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. Who it was. So I won't say it because I don't want to get it wrong. But anyway, she was burning. You know that big bundle of sage? I just put it over there. It was burning a lot. If you have a smudge bundle, make sure you put it out really well, because those things can catch things on fire. They're glowing when you don't realize it. But anyway, so this psychic on YouTube was burning all the sage, and she was going, I might reach out to her and do a collaboration. The energy of Kevin McCarthy was so bad, and I'm like, I am right with you, sister. I totally get it. Kevin McCarthy's energy is slimy. If anything, we can practice our psychic abilities, our clairvoyant abilities, watching these shysters, these swamp creatures. Literally, that's what we're all calling them. We're calling them swamp creatures. So this is the energy on the House floor right now. And this is new beginnings. And the Democrats are watching what they're doing, and they're suffering in silence. Cedar, I have cedar to burn too. You thought Gaetz was going to get punched out by his fellow, that and that too. That's all. It's all ego. It's a fear-based ego. They have low self-esteem, and they pretend they think that they're great, and people that are that have high self-esteem, healthy high self-esteem. It's so gross. I'm just saying, people that have healthy high self-esteem will never just rub it in your face. They just won't. So new beginnings, and the Democrats are suffering in silence watching this. Like, honest to God, they're really nervous. They're brave, they're courageous, but they're really nervous about what the potential is. Wow, Damon, you were really brave. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle keeping that on. It was getting late, and the energy, honestly, that is true. Friday night, I would have watched it till the end, and I think it was like 1:30 in the morning when Kevin McCarthy got voted in, like, that's how I refer to Trump, got voted in, the president, because we know how much nefarious stuff is going on. Plus, they have a lot of followers just really pulled the wool over their eyes. There are a lot of the followers, a lot of the MAGA, they have no idea what they've just unleashed. Wow, I'm surprised you guys, you're stronger than me. That you could watch the whole thing. The energy was too gross. So you can tell how clairvoyant you are by how much you pick. You couldn't look away? Damon! What are you, a glutton for punishment? I can't watch violence on TV either. That's a hard thing. Just in terms of, like, what can you watch? So when I watch anything, when I watch movies, I mean, it's just like as light and silly as I can find. Carol couldn't believe what she was saying. All right, well, let's take a look. So I was just reading on what's happening on the House floor. I'm liking these cards right now. So let's go with that for the time being. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on. I don't usually come on live on Monday night, but I felt like we had to be together. Thank you, Edith. Did you send me something, Edith? I think you did. There aren't many people with that name, Edith. It's a pretty name. Okay, so at least I can't watch anything violent either. Okay, so we're gonna look at how the Democrats are feeling right now. Now, here's the thing too. We really have to show our support for the Democrats. In the House, we need to just write them a thank you. We need to show our support. I mean, these people are so brave. Can you imagine going to work in the Capitol where you almost lost your life? I marvel at that they can go back into that Capitol building, the Democrats especially, and not be re-traumatized every single time. So we do need to thank them. A lot of, people we know, ourselves probably included, we would have just said, this isn't worth it. Did Jack Smith subpoena Rudy? I don't know. I think Midas Touch is on right now. I'm competing with, if you want to split screen and watch Midas Touch too, those guys are great. You're welcome, Carol. And now they took out the metal detectors. I mean, these people have gone really rogue. So, would you go to work under those circumstances? We all must ask ourselves. And then, when we ask ourselves if we would do that, and we say, no, hi, Eric, we need to thank them. No more bashing the people that are public servants. Not that we do, but, sometimes we don't realize how much they do. All right, I'm done with those glasses for the moment. They keep getting stuck in my hair. Okay, how are the Democrats doing right now, in general? How are the Democrats doing in general? Remember, we have the Senate. This is how the Democrats are feeling. Oh, this is interesting. How the Democrats are feeling right now. Passion ignited. See, these aren't the traditional tarot cards. Passion, this is how the Democrats are feeling right now. Spiritual strength. And once again, new beginnings. So we got the new beginnings for what was going on with the Republicans. We get the new beginnings for the Democrats. Yes, you're welcome. My pleasure. Excuse me. And I love that these two cards are coming up. So this is what we have. This is what we have to be too. We are always stronger than we realize. My people in the chat, my peeps, are so smart and insightful. I just love it. I really appreciate it. Sorry you have to work. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. You can watch afterwards. So this is really good. And I want you to know that during our 20 on Tuesdays meditation group, we work with the light a lot. PsychicAnetDion.com is where you go to put in your email address so you'll receive a Zoom invite. And then after that, there's an opportunity to join us for a discussion group about the readings from Sunday's Church of Spirituality. So it's really uplifting and it really is helpful. You're welcome. Okay, what do you want to ask? The door's open. You can ask a question. I can come up with a whole lot. I'm going to do this about Bolsanaro. So I'm working with my pendulum a little bit differently. Is Bolsonaro going to be, is it extradited? Am I using the right word? Extradited back to Brazil. things in play right now. How disgusting is it that Steve Bannon and Trump and I just said Melania just fell out of my mouth, but I was meant Ivanka, that they're supporting the dictator. They're supporting the evil dictator who's a nasty ruler who had the rainforest destroyed. How despicable. That's the devil card. Is Bolsonaro going to have to leave the United States? I hear he's in the hospital. It's giving me the runaround. Okay, well, let's ask a better question. Is Bolsonaro still in the hospital? Getting a yes, he's still in the hospital. Yeah, well, we have to just get into action. Was it Carol saying they're disgusting? Why is he in Orlando is a very good question. I think he was running away. Yeah, it is a pretty pendulum. It's a plastic mold with amethyst. Okay, so let me read. Well, Sheila, we just read on how the Republicans were, how their energy was, and how the Democrats' energy was. We're reading a little bit on Bolsonaro right now. Let's see. Did Trump know about the coup in Brazil? Trump knew about the coup that was going to happen in Brazil. Somebody's asking, will Jared and Ivanka split up? On Friday, I think somebody asked that. I've been asked that several times, and I see them divorced. Was Trump in the know that Bolsonaro supporters were going to have a coup? I'll ask again. He knew. Oh my goodness. We are agents and warriors of the light, and we will slay the darkness. Bannon told who? Bannon told Trump? Because I don't know when Bannon told Trump, but it's looking like, to me, what I'm seeing, we'll pull some cards about that. To me, what I'm seeing is that Bolsonaro told Trump what was going to happen. Who's in your team? Damon, what are you talking about? You drinking? Just kidding. Yeah, well, Trump probably, it looked the same, didn't it? It looked like the same thing as January 6th. It was starkly clear. Did Trump tell Bolsonaro how to do it? Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm dumbfounded. CNN just put up what about Sarah with an H. That's funny. Sarah with an H. CNN just put what up? What are you referring to? I feel like that Bolsonaro went to Trump and Bannon. This is what I'm feeling. Bolsonaro went to them to ask them how they did it. I need a moment. Bolsonaro went. He went for New Year's? Okay, I'll try to catch you all up. Sherry's saying he went to Mar-a-Lago on New Year's. Are you talking about Bolsonaro? Yeah, Bannon does look like his insides have rotted. So does Putin. Bannon looks terrible. Damon, you're so funny. Excuse me, I might need a cough drop. So I'm pausing because I'm like overwhelmed by what I'm seeing here. for entertainment purposes only. I'm getting a connection between the coup in Brazil. This channel is for entertainment purposes only, based only on my psychic impressions, and which I kind of, call psychic facts. Bolsanaro contacting Trump and Bannon to see how they did it. That's why it looked so similar. I'm going to go to a different pendulum. Is that true? Dear pendulum, did Bolsonaro go to Trump and Bannon to ask him how to do the coup? Okay, not direct, that's not direct, okay. Indirectly. Was it indirectly? Did he indirectly go to Trump and Bannon? I get that indirectly he did. Yeah, Judith, I'm freaking out about it too. Not, so, all right, this is why we're here. Inquiring minds want to know. Did Bolsonaro, I'm just picking some cards for more clarity on this, because I get that he did consult to get, like, how to do it, but it wasn't directly. Maybe he was afraid it would be traced somehow. Disruption. Yeah. Partnerships and alliances. These cards are uncannily accurate tonight. I don't think I've used these much before. So, the disruption was definitely, he wanted to disrupt, is it Lula, the president? Is Bannon a drinker? I don't know. He looks awful. He looks like he might be a bad alcoholic. But whenever I think of bad alcoholics, I think of Rudy. Yes, this is what was going on. Because Bolsonaro wanted to take the presidency back. Oh, is Steve Bannon a big-time drinker? He probably smells terrible. You're referring to Steve Bannon? Because the other one is Giuliani. Drinking like that is just like poisoning yourself. Oh, okay. I don't know why I have not ever heard that. I never really thought about it. I just thought he looked very unkempt and like he didn't care. Looking that mussed up, that look like he hasn't taken a shower in days, and I don't even want to think about whether he does. Steve Bannon, I sometimes I just would think that he's just being rebellious. Not washing his face, not shaving. He looks like he smells bad. I used to always say that about Ted Cruz too. Because one day I was doing a reading here, PNN, and I was like, Ted Cruz tuning into his energy. I just felt like he smelled bad. And then somebody told me that Ted Cruz's college roommates used to complain about that. Luna. He's got a beautiful name. I always want to call him Lula. Okay. So what's going to happen in Brazil? There is a connection. I'm very clear about that. Wonderful to see you, Bonnie. I'm very clear about that. There's a connection. It's not like Trump woke up at Mar-a-Lago and if he ever goes to sleep. It's not like Trump woke up at Mar-a-Lago and went, oh, wow, look at what's going on in Brazil. No, he knew. He knew. Let's look at what's going to happen in Brazil next. You got to hand it to them. They put us to shame because the police and law enforcement rounded up those 1,000+ protesters, those violent insurrectionists, and they threw them in jail or something. Yeah, I heard Bannon said that. I'm a Leninist. Lenin wanted to destroy the state, and that's my goal too. He needs to rot in prison. Seriously. What's going to happen in Brazil? This is the root chakra card. This is about the Brazilians coming together. Material harvest. This means that Brazil is on its way to having a better time of it. And the hope card. Luna. Luna means moon, right? Hey, you like my mood ring? I bought this for my costume on New Year's Eve, and I just love it. How it changes colors. So, hope, this is for Brazil. 1,500 insurrectionists in jail tonight. That's what should have happened in the United States. We're much too lax. Speaking of that. Anyway, I love this for Brazil. Yeah, I thought it was Lula. Somebody said Luna. Now I'm all confused. It's just one letter. Isn't it fun? Thank you. But this I just bought for a costume because it was a retro party for New Year's Eve. I posted the picture of me for New Year's Eve. I was the belle of the ball, I gotta tell you. I'm very festive. Anyway. So I just bought it on Amazon, and I didn't know I'd like it so much. So, all right, I'm gonna pick 3 cards. Lula da Silva, Luis. I shouldn't even attempt this. Luis Inácio Lula da Silva. What a beautiful name. That's a beautiful name. No, it's okay. I kept screwing it up too. Lula. And he wants to do good by his people. Those cards were wonderful for Brazil. So see, they scooped up the insurrectionists and they threw them in jail. Who knows what's going to happen to them? They had the bear spray. They had the flags. It was the same exact thing. I mean, there's so much happening in the world right now that you can't look at it and go, well, I don't know, maybe you can't, because it's right there in your face. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Meanwhile, let's look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yikes, right, Damon? A Brazilian prison. Yikes. It is crazy how it's happening everywhere, but I'm glad you brought that up, Rhonda, because we can't look at what's going on in the world right now and go, oh, it's just a coincidence. Right? We can't. We can't go, oh yeah, well, isn't that interesting? It's kind of happened there and happened there too. No, this is a massive shift of energy. This is like a purging. And I won't get into details of a purging of what. We don't quite know, but we know that there's a lot, let me just reference. I mean, I'm not telling you go read the Bible, but let me just reference, everything is like archetypes. There were many Bible stories about like God becoming angry because the people were being evil. And then he'd wipe them out with a flood or a plague or, and that's kind of what we're seeing. So there's some real symbolism to those stories. Other countries are copying this behavior. Yeah, when it started here. And then those poor Democrats right now in the House are observing what's going on with the Republicans, and they're like that card said, suffering in silence. Let's read about Marjorie Taylor Greene. The fate of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, we talked the other night about how Allie Alexander, who was like a Stop the Steal leader, traitor, insurrectionist, treasonous traitor. Deception and envy. She's not very happy. All the insurrectionists are failing. Well, let's pick another card because I'm a little bit confused. Okay. The universe, all right. The universe, this is the karma card in this deck. So this is about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yes, the energy is shifting. And it's been spoken about for a very long time. Gangrene Marge. I haven't heard that before. I love Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I know she's not. I mean, she's getting divorced, right? So is it still green? And then harmony and recognition and reward. I'm kind of thinking that this might have to do with the law of contrast. Like when she's out of the way, because the universe is going to have its way with her through the law of karma. It looks like, yeah, recognition and reward, that wouldn't be her, and harmony would definitely. Harmony does not describe Marjorie Taylor Greene. So when the universe has its way with Marjorie Taylor Greene, the law of karma coming back on her, then we're going to have a clearer path. So I almost feel like this is saying when she's ousted, when Marjorie Taylor Greene is ousted because the universe takes care of her through the law of karma, you know, that's just the way it works. She won't change her name? Well, green, I guess, makes sense, right? And there's all that green in that card. And the universe is the white light. And it feels like once she goes, harmony. Yeah, once she goes, it's harmony and recognition and reward. That this is about the Democrats. You guys are hilarious. You entertain me more than I'm entertaining you. You're all much more entertaining. Okay, so let's look at we didn't already pull cards about Matt Gaetz, right? We didn't already oh yeah, her voice will still be the same. I'm telling you. Some of these people's voices, they need to just not talk. This is so much fun. I'm glad you're having fun. I'm having fun too. I was on the fence about coming on live, but I just felt like too many people were feeling kind of down and alone. So I hope that's not the case. I hope I'm wrong about that. We're gonna pick 3 cards about Matt Gaetz. The fate of Matt Gaetz. Sounds like a movie. Dun dun dun. The fate of Matt Gaetz. What do we have here? I noticed myself watching comedy. I think it was Friday night. That's probably what I was doing. I was watching comedians on Dry Bar on YouTube. Check out Dry Bar if you haven't already. If you're on YouTube a lot like me, it will just pop up. I do my best to keep you sane. Okay, so what's going on for Matt Gaetz? Oh, this is interesting too. Our intuition is right about him. New beginnings. The light. This is similar. The light. You know, that's two readings where the light came in and swept them away. This is intuition. What we've been sensing, and new beginnings for us. Can the Senate stop what? I don't know what THEC means. Maybe them? Is that what you meant? Let's see how much power that the Democrats actually have. We're just going general. These cards are like for general. How much power do the Democrats actually have? Spiritual union. That's the second time. This is the Democratic Party right now, for the most part, is probably the most highly spiritually aligned Democratic Party ever. I really get that. Matt Gaetz reminds you of Jack Nicholson from The Shining. I never watched that movie. I know about parts of that movie, but that would have scared me to death. Jack Nicholson is that good. This is about the Democratic Party. Like, it's just, this is the second big energy spiritual card I've gotten. They're going by their intuition. They're being guided to fight the deception and envy. The deception. It's interesting. Yes, it said 90% out. You're right. Yeah, my pendulum said 90% chance that Gaetz will be out. And yeah, Damon's a riot, isn't he? One time the viewers here were like, they're so good. They protect me. They're like, troller. And I had to just go, no, that's Damon. He's fine. He's with us every Wednesday night, it seems, I think. So the deception. This is, thank you, Linda. Two 2 cards. Major spiritual energy. Major spiritual energy. Damon. Yeah, you're funny. I mean, you got people worried sometimes, like, oh, you're a troll, you're a troll. Before you know it, there's gonna be a porn site up there. You know, sometimes they get in the bots get in the chat. As far as I know, Corey and I are gonna have our show Wednesday as usual. Random acts of kindness. Are those? Is that comedy? That doesn't sound like comedy. Everyone knows you're naughty. Did you get coal in your stocking, Damon? You know, it's funny because all of a sudden I was like, well, let's look at Putin, and then I kind of feel like Putin's too dark for these cards. So let's real quick just look at. Oh yeah, I kind of feel like Putin's over there doing one of these. Look, democracy is failing. So. I didn't know about the kindness show. Lisa Sharp, you're funny. Our resident cheeky lad, that Damon. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. The guides are showing me a ganging up. The other countries are ganging up on Putin. I really am getting that. Other countries, the NATO countries, are ganging up on Putin. Gosh, okay. And you know that I keep on seeing the end of that war, so. Can the Senate override the new bill they passed today? Are you referring to a specific bill? I might need a more specific question. You mean the rules? Okay, so now we're in Putin land. The sun is illuminating what's really going on in Russia right now. The King of Swords and the Eight of Swords. I'm seeing this as Zelensky. And I see the Eight of Swords is... Hang on a second. You're talking about some show that I don't know. The Eight of Swords is all the damage and all the destruction and all the pain and all the murder and that's about, like all the infrastructures being attacked and yeah. Okay. But it looks like this week especially we're going to see a lot illuminated about Russia, about how bad they're losing. Painful. And Zelensky's just, Zelensky has a great big angel. Great big angel. Big giant. Archangel Michael. I can see it. Please hit the thumbs up and thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Oh my gosh, we're almost up to an hour. Which obvious questions am I not thinking of right now? Because there's so much in the news. Biden. Remember him? Remember him? Remember President Biden? Anybody? Oh dear. Abbott. What a nerve. What a nerve. Hang on. We'll get to Abbott. They did not vote on the House rules today. Weren't they supposed to? Do you have it on right now? They did vote on the House rules today. Well, so we know it's bad, right? Russian hospitals are overfull of soldiers. So here's where I'm going to reel you all in that are worried about what the Republicans are doing. I told you last week, January, February, March is going to be an absolute chaotic circus. Now, yeah, we can't. So, Jean, here's what I'm going to recommend. I know it's not good. We know it's not good. Yeah, the angels are protecting Zelensky. We know it's not good. They're still debating? I'll look after. We know it's not good what's happening. January, February, March. It's going to be a chaotic, crazy circus. I mean, the only reason that I breathed a sigh of relief, the only reason, little sigh of relief, that they finally let Kevin McCarthy be speaker. The only reason I breathed a sigh of relief was because last week we were in the danger zone. We're still in the danger zone, but in a different way. We were in a worse kind of a danger zone last week because we had no government. If we had been attacked, God forbid, by a foreign nation during that week, they wouldn't have been able to pull anything together. Yeah, I know. President Biden was in Texas today. That's why I'm going to read on that next. They're saying defund the IRS. They're saying defund the military. They're saying, yeah, well, Gene, but I have to watch the news because I have the Psychic News Network. It's my choice to do that. Nobody told me I had to. Except my guides. But anyway, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be rough. And I feel like around April, things are going to turn for the better. So, I know, Gene, we're all with you. We get it. The IRS, I don't really understand why they're going to go after the IRS. Does anybody else? This deck is called the Dark Forest deck. When I first started reading this deck, I was commenting on how odd it was that it's barely labeled. It's the Dark Forest Tarot. My friend Warren, who's usually in the chat, but he probably figured I wasn't going to be on live tonight because, you know me, I'm Miss Spontaneous. I think that the whoever made this deck, Warren had put the link up because he did find it. The Dark Forest Tarot, and I'm pretty sure I got it on eBay. The artist might be from Ukraine. So, attorneys found classified docs in Burns think tank and return them any repercussions. Burns? Who's Burns? Not to the rescue. I do my best. So, this is why I have 20 on Tuesdays. I have 2 groups, 3 nights a week. I'm doing my part to help save our democracy. Please join us. 20 on Tuesdays, that's tomorrow, is our meditation and visualization group. We visualize a healed America, which affects the whole world. For 20 minutes, I do a guided meditation. Followed by, if people want to stay, we go over the sacred readings from Church of Spirituality. It's a discussion group for 45 minutes. Thursdays, we have a Grassroots of Democracy discussion group. On Saturdays, we get together. We have a work group. So, psychicannetdion.com is how you get the Zoom invite. You have to put your email address in. We're not asking you for anything. We're just coming together. Because we need to. All right, let's pull 3 cards about our democracy. And I'm gonna do the border thing too. Hang on, I just kind of switched gears a little bit about our democracy. What's up for our democracy? You know, a long time ago, I've mentioned it several times. The guides told me Donald Trump, existed so we would strengthen our democracy. What is the name of it? Can I help you? The Dark Forest Tarot. I'll see if I can get some more information about it. But I randomly found it on eBay. Really randomly. I wasn't looking for a tarot deck. Join Grassroots of Democracy. Roberta's there. Like over 500 people signed up to join, and we have about 10. I don't know what's up with that. It came with a box. With a really good, cool box. And when you're a tarot card reader, you want a good box for your tarot cards. It has this too, and it kind of slides in. Alright. Remember, hang on. Time for a commercial break. Here's my commercial break before I read on our democracy. If you sign up to get a reading from today, if you book a session up until the 31st of January, I will send you a free book that I wrote. It's a 10th year anniversary of my book. And I'll sign it and send it to you. Also, I have classes based on the law of attraction. I have a series of 4 classes. You can jump in anytime. Saturdays from 1 to 3 Eastern time. That's also on my website. Everything's on my website. And this week's class is the power of words. We're studying the law of attraction. And Lisa Sharp is the best because whenever I say it, she puts it up there. Hello. Okay, I feel like I want to look at cards about our democracy, and then we'll look at Joe Biden and the border and Abbott. Abbott had the audacity to complain. Oh, the tarot class, right. Thank you for reminding me. I know, I kind of forgot I wrote a book. It's a pretty good book. I like it. I was very proud of it. I wasn't on YouTube in 2013, that's for sure. Our democracy. General about our democracy. Accelerated motion. This is general about our democracy. Hope, which is what I got for Brazil too. It's about our democracy. And passion ignited. See, you're all going to join Grassroots of Democracy, and we're going to... Accelerated motion, I feel like, has to do with our justice system. Hope, same card I got. Abbott's an idiot. I'm sorry. Just have to tell it like it is. And passion ignited. When enough people pay attention, when enough people get involved, we can move mountains. That is for sure. Now let's take a look at Greg Abbott, who has no business calling himself governor. What's going to happen to Greg Abbott? Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. If you haven't, please hit the thumbs up. You know, I watch Midas Touch all the time. And I can't do this while I'm doing this, but they always put up a poll. Have you hit the thumbs up yet? And then it always reminds me to hit the thumbs up. It's easy to forget. Unless you don't like it, and then... Abbott and his partner Costello. Do you mean DeSantis? Who are you referring to as Costello? You know, and I don't think I'd call him that because they're dark, you know. Abbott gave him a letter with all his complaints. What the gall, the audacity. 5 of Swords is Abbott. It's like the guys are saying Greg Abbott thinks he's going to get something, and he gets the opposite of it. Yeah. You know, it's funny that Chuck, in Texas, we do not hold high expectations for the governor's office. It's mostly been occupied by crooks, dorks, and the comatose. Molly Ivins. I'm not sure who. Yeah, Abbott. We can't stand to watch these people that are just oozing like slimy, dark energy. So Chuck, that just reminds me. One time I was reading about Texas, like what's going on when Abbott got elected, so-called elected back in. When all that happened and Beto didn't win for governor, and I asked the guys about it. I'm like, what? I mean, these like Abbott is really. Both Abbott and DeSantis are trashing their states. They're ruining their states. And the guide said the money, the oil money in Texas, it's so corrupt. It's so thick. It goes so deep. It's like so corrupt. So that what you just put up there as a quote really, yeah, George Bush wasn't an angel either, but compared to what we're seeing now, he kind of looks like one. So as far as Abbott goes, I feel like Abbott, he does one thing this is what the guys are saying. He'll do one thing with a certain consequence in his mind, and it turns out to be completely different. Texas Paul is great. NRG owns Abbott and his cronies. Yeah, that's what the guys were pointing at, this out to me, and I was like, wow, how are they ever, it's like getting through this muck of tar. That's how bad the dark energy is. We love Texas Paul. And if you haven't subscribed to Midas Touch, subscribe to Midas Touch. I'm pretty sure they're on live right now. I'll have to watch it on the replay. See, I opted to be with you guys rather than watch Midas Touch. But, these are the groups. These, thank God for YouTube channels, Sadhguru would say, this is Sadhguru. Sadhguru would say, so often I've heard him say, now that we have technology, like when I first met him, we didn't even have a book because that was 1998. Now, with the technology that we have, we can move mountains because of technology, because we can come together. You can send an email in a second. You can send, some important message to, something can go viral. It's like, it's remarkable what we're able to do. The NRA is really powerful. So, I see justice coming for Abbott. It's funny, today I was thinking about a little while back when I said, oh my gosh, I see justice, I see justice, I see justice, and I see a lot of women, a lot of female judges. And then this morning on some news program, I heard somebody say that Joe Biden has appointed more judges that are female than any president ever has. So it's, it's really, are you talking about Ann Richards? Yeah. Well, these people who cross over to the other side, I knew the Harry and Meghan question was going to be coming. I'm surprised it took this long. Anyway, hang on a second. Bo from the fifth column got a little bit negative for me. I have a hard time, and even David Packman gets a little bit negative. So, I'm sorry, I'm doing it again. It's like, wait, I'm having 5 conversations, a couple with my guides, the chat, and interpreting the cards. So this is about Greg Abbott. So I just realized that, the Queen of Pentacles, I kept getting females around justice and around how these people are going to be, these men that are corrupt in positions of power are going to be held to task pretty much. And there's a lot of female judges that are going to have something to do with that. And the Page of Wands. Greg Abbott is clueless. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just, it's almost like Greg Abbott gets up in the morning and goes, what's the most idiotic idea I could ever have? And the most heinous. Unbelievable. Joe Biden at the border. Harry is outing the firm. That's true. Prince Harry is. Poor Prince Harry. He's not had it easy. Okay. Oh, this card just flipped over like it wanted. That doesn't usually happen. It just like moved itself. The Wheel of Fortune. That's funny how that happened. I put the cards down and one of these cards just jumped off the deck and it's a Wheel of Fortune. Do not be afraid. Things are shifting for the better. But nothing changes without a tumultuous time preceding it. And challenges are the only thing that really get us to realize how strong we are. Like I said, find your inner Ukrainian. Harry better avoid tunnels. Somebody asked, it might have been during the show with Corey. Somebody asked a weird question and it was like, will it be found out that Princess Diana was murdered or something like that? And I had a big problem with that question because it was like all these assumptions that she was murdered. So, I mean, it doesn't really feel like, it feels like it was a genuine accident. We love Harry and Meghan. That was you. That was you? Damon. You troublemaker. That was you, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. Okay. Is the United States going to pass reasonable legislation on the border? No. She just got in the car with the drunk. That's kind of how I felt too. It was, there was bad, like all the negative components were there. It was a bad mixture of things that killed Lady Di. Hit the thumbs up if you can. Will the crisis at the border be alleviated some? Well, that's a yes. So at least there'll be some progress made. Yeah, the paparazzi and the press. They could have when we had a majority. Well, the Republicans wouldn't play ball, so they couldn't do anything about the border because all the Republicans want to. I mean, honestly, you want my honest assessment? Of course you do. Why else would you be here? The Republicans are lazy asses. I'm sorry. I can say that, right? It means a donkey. Thank you, Roxy. Here's the thing. I'm befuddled. I'm trying to think of the word. It's okay. It's very overwhelmingly obvious to me that these Republicans are not they're not smart enough to do their jobs. They're not smart enough to do their jobs. They don't know how. They're lazy and they're covering up their lack of intellect by, as I'm saying these words, they're so resonating as the truth. They're so not intelligent and they're so in over their heads with the jobs with the actual jobs that are the job description. And we've got to change this in our country, that people that are that stupid, just covering up their stupidity with their antics and covering, they're not covering up too much, but they're distractions, just like Donald Trump. Whenever he was in trouble, he'd make a distraction. That's what Matt Gaetz was doing. So we got to do something about that. There needs to be there's no, anybody can run for office. That's got to change. There's got to be, you're going to have to pass a test. Like people that want, immigrants have to take a citizen's test. Donald Trump couldn't tell you what's in the Constitution to save his life. Let's be real. Right? Okay, what else? I'm not staying forever. But it's been a lot of fun. What should we wrap up with? Yeah, plus, they make too much damn money. It's our money. Everybody, you with me? They make too much damn money, and it's our money. They're being paid by us to be heinous. Beto O'Rourke, well, I don't know what you want to know about Beto. I don't see him leaving politics, if that's what you want to know. And great benefits, and they get all the health care they need. Now, do you remember the passion card I kept pulling? We want to get some passion going about that? A community card. We need to have rules. We need to have guidelines. I mean, the times of people acting in ethical ways and having honor and keeping their word and having integrity and having shame, the days of that are apparently gone. Yeah, there's always the lobbyists, I was thinking today, they should be paid like a server in a restaurant, which I think is awful that servers get a low wage and they're so dependent on tips. How about if, since they get so much money from the lobbyists, how about if they get a very low wage, all these low-life politicians, they get a low wage because they already get their tips from the lobbyists anyway. I knew there was something huge I had to read about. The Georgia grand jury. Soul Surfer, good question about does the Democratic Party have a good chance they will win? They do have a good chance because the Republicans are going to make so many people so angry. Honestly. So true. Bottles! They're selling a lot of beer at the restaurant and wine. Yeah, I know. If you ever come to Gloucester, you can go to that restaurant. It's called the Franklin. It's really good. I haven't been there in a long time. Okay. Georgia. Georgia? Aw, thank you, Lisa. You're so sweet. She's sending out light and love. See, and the light card came up a lot tonight. So, I always think of that Chinese proverb. There's no tipping in Iceland. Well, they probably get a higher wage. The servers probably get a higher wage. You've heard the proverb, it's better to light one candle than to curse the darkness? I love that. And you can only see the light in the darkness, right? It's brighter in the darkness. I'm looking at Georgia. What's her name? Fani Willis in Georgia has a very strong case against Trump. And it's very divinely directed. That's the crown chakra. And the solar plexus. That woman has got it going on. The grand jury, they finished their work today. Trump will be indicted, is what the guides are saying in Georgia. Yippee! Where's my bell? A lovely viewer from Montana sent me these beautiful bells from India. I just love them. Thank you for... I can't believe people send me gifts. It's so sweet. So sweet! Everyone, just stop and give yourself a pat on the back for being amazing and hold your heart and just say, I'm amazing. Okay? Miss Lindsay? I think he's really in trouble in Georgia, too. So, let's see. So there's, all right, hang on a second. Is Donald Trump going to be indicted in the month of January? Is that what it's looking for? Thank you for the flower bouquet. Okay, is Donald Trump going to be indicted in the month of January? Okay, it doesn't look like January. Is he going to be indicted in the month of February? It looks like the month of February. That's what I'm seeing. Donald Trump looks like he'll be indicted in the month of February. Will Donald Trump be in any obvious legal trouble in the month of January? Yes, that's a strong yes. So it's not an indictment, but he's going to be in strong legal trouble in the month of January, and that's bouncing almost out of my hand. See, the pendulum has a mind of its own. I have a lot of respect for the pendulum. That's why I was so upset when people were like, well, you said the pendulum said that Kevin McCarthy wouldn't be speaker. Does he look like a speaker to you? I mean, really. What do you say we do 8 more minutes? 7 more minutes. Let's look at Josh Hawley. I'm thinking maybe the darker cards for him, but let's look at these purple cards. This is a Psychic Tarot by John Holland, right? I've had these cards for maybe 20 years. Hang on a second. Josh Hawley, is that what I was just asking? I got sidetracked. All right, let's try that again. Remind me of the question, because I got sidetracked. Trump's furniture will be on the front lawn of Mar-a-Lago. Oh, speaking of furniture being on being strewn about, pray for California. California's getting again a doozy. It's like feast or famine with the weather. They went from a drought to now we're getting all these like weather terms, atmospheric rivers. That's what's going on in California right now. Remind me of was it Josh Hawley? Is that what I was reading on? It was. You know what it was? I didn't feel like Josh Hawley. I didn't feel like those were the right cards. We need the dark cards. Dark cards, as we say in Boston. I'm going for the dark cards. Sorry. Sorry, I'm getting a little loopy. Josh Hawley. The Six of Swords, that has to do with January 6th. That's Josh Hawley. Very much responsible. This is Jack Smith. and in the car. Let's read the dark cards in the car and have a dad. I made a concerted effort when I was growing up to use my R's. I also learned how to speak, like up till 4 years old. I lived in my dad's hometown in Muskegon, Michigan. Anyway, so I don't have a heavy accent. They're going to get hit with copious amounts of rain over and over again. Okay, this is about Josh Hawley. Jack Smith has information on him, a lot of information. This is a 10 of Cups. Josh Hawley was one of the planners. At a party, Marilyn's having fun. 6 of Swords. I'd say Josh Hawley is, I get this kind of humana, like what Jim Jordan was doing when he was asked what he was doing on, like, did he talk to, do you remember that when Jim Jordan was asked, well, did you talk to Trump on January 6th? Well, humana. He didn't know what to say. He couldn't even lie good. Josh Hawley, we have to laugh, Bonnie, right? Ted Cruz, I think I'm on overload with the slime. Slime overload, khakis. And I didn't think it sounded very intelligent to speak like that, so I didn't. Nothing against people with a heavy accent. That's just my own opinion. Cruz smells. I did get that. So shall we do some a community card? Their favorite phrases I don't remember. Yeah. Which is really good. Don't they want to seem like they're intelligent? Don't they want to seem like their brains are working? Such liars. Okay, so it became very clear tonight that we have to pump the light, the visualizations, the prayers, really, really together, collectively. That's why I have meditation groups. That's why I even have Church of Spirituality. There's a prayer at the beginning of that church service I do every single Sunday. If you just watched it and read that prayer with me, you're good. It'll take about 5 minutes. Yeah, because the lawyer told them to say they couldn't remember. Thank you, Mamboff Flores. I enjoy you guys a lot. So let's do 3 community cards, shall we? Unless I left something really important out. Yeah, let's take McCarthy's panic button out from under his desk. I sing and play too. My music is on my website. I worked with world-class musicians, and really, really grateful for that. What time tomorrow? It's at 7 Eastern time. Go to my website and you can sign up there. I think it's the upper right menu. It might be under Grassroots of Democracy. It's called 20 on Tuesdays. My assistant Terry is amazing. Thank you, Patty. You're so sweet. Everything I'm doing is on my website, and so it's pretty full because I'm doing a ton of stuff, and a lot of it is free. And speaking of free, one more time, I'm going to tell you, if you book a reading anytime between now and January 31st, I will send you my, I feel like I'm on an infomercial. I'll send you my free book, The 7-Day Key to Living Inspiration and Empowerment. You have to sign up for your reading or your life coaching session by January 31st for this month. And I'll autograph it for you. Community cards, are we ready for that? Yes. So come. HSN. What was it? What's the Home Shopping Network? Mars goes direct this week, and Mercury goes direct. Wait, let me tell you when Mercury goes direct. If I can see it. I think I can't find it. Oh. I'll tell you later. Probably next week. So thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. Good to see you. Take our class on Saturday. Is it the 18th, the 19th? Okay. So Mercury goes direct. I'm not seeing that. I see the 18th. Mercury goes direct on the 18th. And Mars going direct feels like a good thing. Mercury is on. What does that mean? I don't don't mind Mercury retrogrades. Mercury retrogrades don't bother me one iota because Mercury retrogrades are a good time to reflect. And if you do this kind of work, you'll take the George Foreman grill, please. The Home Shopping Network. Damon, you're hilarious. Mercury retrograde is a really good time. And in fact, I hadn't even thought of this, but I have been going through stuff and, minimalizing, making my life like a minimalist, living like a minimalist, because I am kind of that. And that's all like reviewing things and, throwing things out and redoing things and reflecting. You're out of stock of the Foreman grills. Please hit the thumbs up before we go. I really, really appreciate it. Somehow it helps me on YouTube. I haven't figured out. I'm not all about the algorithms and all that. I have my strong points, but that's not one. Is Harry and Meghan okay? Yeah, they're okay. I feel like they have a strong bond. I feel like it's been rough, but I don't feel like they're gonna break up. I feel like they're getting closer together. The community cards. I'll be back on Wednesday night with Corey, and we all know that Corey has on Bridge Cape Ann. He has a show on Tuesdays where he takes your questions, so he's ready with questions for our show on Wednesday night. Our show on Wednesday night is always 6:30 Eastern Time live, and it's always way too long. This week, wow, these are our collective cards for the week. I'm glad I pulled these cards back out. They were just on my shelf for the longest time. This is about speaking your truth. You're in Brazil. Oh, wow. Miss Brazil, 1955. Wow, how is it going down there? Thank you, Patty. The 2023 prediction show with Corey was great. Bridge Cape Ann is where you can find those videos. Bridge Cape Ann. Throat chakra, that's about us speaking our truth. We're going to see people speaking their truth. Victory and success. Let's stay focused on what is working. That's really, really, really important. Thank you, Rick. You're sweet. Really, really important. There are two ways of looking at things. And remember, in the words of, these John Holland cards are the best. In the words of the late, great Wayne Dyer, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Let's look at the good, right? And here's that light card again. This week, especially if we focus our attention on the good, we're going to see some good stuff. Thank you for your wonderful compliments. Thank you for your wonderful comments on my videos too. I'm not one who goes through and answers everybody because I just don't have time to do that. That would be a lot of work, but I do appreciate so much. Without you, we wouldn't have a channel. We wouldn't have virtual parties, psychic parties like this, which is really, really fun. Psychic parties are the best. All right, visit my website. Know that if you book a reading by the end of January, you can receive, if you like, my book for free, and I'll autograph it. Tell your friends, and please share, and please subscribe. And thank you for subscribing if you already do. Namaste. See you soon. Bye.